Welcome back, peoples. Welcome back, Hostile World. Welcome back, Hostile Bros. Good to see the guys this week. Got some nice topics to talk about. Excited to talk about some basketball. This first topic is going to be interesting, but as always, I can't jump ahead of myself and get into this. I need to check in with you fellas. It's been a whole 7 days or 6 days and a couple of hours, however you want to look at it. Hakeem, it's been a minute, man. What's the action?
Been a minute. Man, everything's good. Everything's good. Had a pretty good week last week. A busy week like normal. But it was good. Still got my gym workouts. Had some fun. This weekend, for those who don't know, it was supposed to be a big concert held by Platinum Songs, like a big music concert where they're bringing in some artists from overseas, Sean Paul, Jada Kingdom. And unfortunately, it got canceled last minute. So I was like, damn, I was bummed out. But I still went to the location, Hamer's Market, and for my girlfriend on yesterday. And coincidentally, on the big screen, I had Sean Paul playing. So I was telling myself, this is their way of making up for the concert not happening. So they had
That's also cheesy.
Yeah, that's tacky, brother.
It was funny. I mean, they had other artists playing, but it was just funny to see Sean Paul on the big screen. But other than that, it was a good shout out to Hamer's Market. The food was pretty cool. But yeah, that was it. It was pretty chill.
Nice.
I'm ready to get the week started.
Oh, you ready to start? No,
I'm ready to get the week started. Ready to get the week started.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like Monday already gone. So if you start, you go start tomorrow. Right, what's the action with you, my brother?
Pretty good, man. Can't complain. Had a pretty decent week myself. Not too much activity like Hakeem had. Pretty chill for the most part. Sure, to catch some games over the week, but I don't know. I feel like I'm in a mood. I'm ready for the playoffs to start now. Like this done with these regular season games. I want to see the matchups. So excited, of course, to talk the NBA talk. Excited to talk some F1 today as well. I actually watched the race true and true. So
big ups to
for the first time it was here. For the first time. But when we get into that, I can share my thoughts.
Right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, Hostile World, if you are already in the video, in the stream, you already know what to do. Hit that like button. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms in bottom right hand corner of your screen. Mostly Instagram. That's where all the action at for the Hostile Bros. And obviously YouTube is where we post our streams. And we got to update it, but we on Spotify as well. So we'll be getting the audio version of the stream out to you as soon as we can each week. So with that said, without any further talk and do, let me get into the NBA chat, peoples. Wemebanyama. Victor Wembanyama has evolved as a player. He started out a little bit shaky, and this might be mostly pertaining to the team's chemistry and the struggles that the team had early up in the season. And he's had to figure that out well throughout the entire season. We've had his quote unquote nemesis in the run for Rookie of the Year award in Chet Holmgren. And early up in the season, even before the season start, me and Rayvon had a big back and forth about who will be the better player or who's the better player or who will be deserving of this award. Wemby stats has been, in my opinion, top notch so far for this season, especially coming on to where we're at right now. Like he's definitely gradually gotten better. His points show it. At one point, he was averaging 30 points. Now he's 28. Sorry, 21 points, averaging 10 rebounds and 4 blocks just in the month of February. You know that's the shortest month of the year. So your boy putting up points. So Rayvon, I want to hear your thoughts about Wemby as he's progressed throughout the season so far.
As you said, it might evolve, but it might as a Pokemon to some extent. Everybody's calling it alien, but he took it to the next level, really and truly, and it's really impressive because, as you said, he started out the season very, very shaky, which is
Mhm.
expected rookie season. Um, but me personally, I just think I expect this exponential growth. Like you're seeing him impact the game on so many levels, defensively and offensively. Yes, we know he has the tools, the skill set to do so. But that game they had against OKC versus Chet, and in the final minutes of that game, I saw him take over that game and hit two big trees when they needed it most and really close out the game for the team and had a big block on Chet to seal the deal as well. So like already you seeing a guy, a rookie, taking these big moments and excelling in them at early stage in his career, and just to see where his growth rates come from struggling, figuring out himself, and just finding the groove, finding a way how to do things, finding different ways to impact the game, despite the team not being great, as we know. They're still
Yeah.
13 and how much ever on this season. But it just goes to show that it's time for the Spurs actually to think about maybe they should accelerate the process for Wembanyama and maybe get some better talent around him sooner rather than later because he's already making an impact on so many different levels for a rookie. So they gotta consider it. And what's most impressive, but over the past 2 weeks or so, he's been in he's been making some historic stats in the conversation with the likes of Tim Duncan and
Mhm.
David Robertson, his predecessors to some extent, both Spurs, both number one picks from the Spurs. Uh, so they got something good there going with the Spurs, but um, he was one of the few players that averaged over 20 points, over 10 rebounds, over 5 assists, and 5 blocks in consecutive games. So shout out to Wemby. He is doing something sensational. And over the last 8 games specifically, he has been
Mhm.
at 24 points, 12 rebounds, 5.5 blocks. 5.5 blocks.
This
We
man's on the
haven't
board.
seen anyone reaching those block totals since on a consistent basis, maybe since like Mutombo or one of those guys.
Or Dwight
Back
Howard or one of
in the
those.
day, yeah, Dwight Howard, those type of guys, like that is insane. Anthony Davis might be the
Mhm.
closest person we've seen to that in recent years, but or Rudy
Mark,
Gobert, but
yeah,
not on this, not on this level, man. His length is really bothering. And when you look at his block chart, it's like typically you would see the blocks in the paint, but this guy is blocking people's jumpers
yeah,
just from all over
mid
the
range
court.
3 pointers.
So
Yep.
Yeah.
it's
Making good
just
use of
so
the height.
impressive,
Yeah.
so impressive. And if there's one person, um, that has had as much hype as LeBron James is Victor Wembanyama, and right now he's doing what LeBron has been doing when he first came to the league, exceeding them. Because I don't think anyone would have think that he would have progressed so quickly, given he was struggling so bad at the start of the season. So
Yeah.
it's exciting to see.
I agree. I agree. Honestly, watching Wemebanyama this season has been an interesting take. It's been like a linear graph. He's just been improving steadily. I find the team is now realizing how to incorporate him more into the games. I find at first he wasn't getting the ball as much, and as if they doubted that he was their best player. But I think they've now come to grips and realized, okay, he is the man of the team, and as everyone said, we need to build around him, get him the ball, let him make plays. Unfortunately, the team has not been doesn't have the winning record. But what I would like for them to do is I just like they have to accelerate the process to get in players around them. Now, typically you see 3, 4, 5 years before teams really get good if you have only one really talented player. I think in this case they could go for next year or maybe the year afterwards. I saw reports saying that they have 2025 draft a lot of draft picks, and that draft class is supposed to be better than 2024. So that's food for thought there. But right now, Wemby's been on a tear. He stepped out against Chet Holmgren. I still believe, because we didn't touch on it yet, I still believe Chet deserves the Rookie of the Year more than Wembyama. And you already know my take on it. At the end of the day, the record of your team makes a difference. I don't know where to get these individual awards going, and the team is dead last, like dead last. And to me, that is always a big factor for the awards. Now, Chet isn't too far behind Wemby in points per game. Right now, Wemby's at 20.9. Chet is about 17.2. Um, rebounds, rebounds, I would say Wemby has a little more, but it's not. You can say, oh my God, is a big difference in play style. Like Wemby is taking over. They're comparable. They played just about the same more games, but the difference is OKC's top three, Spurs is bottom in the Western Conference. So so bottom. So are these empty calories we're seeing from Victor versus nutrients we getting from Chet Holmgren? So that that's my take on it. You know that already for sure.
I can't agree because this is a rookie having to step into a leadership role right off the bat. This is a rookie having to.
But most rookies have to do that. When you get a number one draft pick, they put you in the spotlight. Lonzo did it at Lakers. LeBron did it. Uh, Markel Fultz had to do it when he was at I can't remember the team he was at before. He actually got traded,
I
which
wonder
is so funny.
what he do. He
But
did
he was
nothing.
but he was supposed to be
Well,
that guy. He was supposed to
all
be that
right,
guy.
fair
Ben
enough.
Simmons. I mean Donovan Mitchell. When you get high picks, well, Donovan Mitchell wasn't really a high pick, but the number one picks typically are supposed to lead the team. They're supposed to be the franchise changers. So I mean, like, this is what we expected for the most part.
But not if they're brought into a team that are already has enough talent to to really give them enough space to grow. When we like was brought into the mud basically and had to try to figure it out. I won't say on his
Lonzo
own,
Ball too.
obviously, but yeah, but at the same time, I
I
think
don't see
in the
Lonzo Ball in
race,
the same category as Wembyama. I don't think
But they were both number
you
one
compare
drop.
them
They're
two.
both they're both for number one.
yeah,
Lonzo was
but
Uh,
number
but
two,
don't be
I
fixated on
think.
the
sorry,
number
who went number
one
one before? Oh,
draft
Markel
picks in the
Fultz. Yeah,
things.
Markel Fultz.
Yeah,
But
Marco
Lonzo was a
was
high.
number one in that draft.
It was predicted Lonzo was going to be number one for the majority of the season. I don't know he didn't go number one, but the point is he came in the mud. Lakers was trash last season, and he was expected to be the man to change the game. Magic put all this pressure on him for in the summer league, saying Lonzo is this player, he's that guy. Like,
Yeah, his name is going to be in the rafter.
yeah. He got drafted a couple years later. So I mean, like,
Hmm.
times we see this time and time again with these number one picks.
At the end of the day, I don't think Czech in the same situation as Wemby. And Wemby has been putting up numbers. He's been outstanding, and he's shown growth. I think that's the most important thing. Growth also comes with maturity and understanding the game a whole lot better, understanding the pieces that you got around you in order to make things happen. Yes, they ain't had enough wins, and
I think only
I
about 15
understand.
wins. I think only about 15, if you ask me. I could
Yeah,
be wrong,
I
but
I I understand that wins should count for something, but for a rookie to like he putting up the numbers that they should win, it means that everybody else on the team ain't really doing as good as they should be doing. That was my argument for that.
I'll jump in here quickly and let you know that when Kyle Kuzma was drafted, Kyle Kuzma was a rookie. Kyle Kuzma was tearing up. Rafa, you could let me know if I'm correct. Kyle Kuzma was tearing up the league. He was at Lakers, getting some. I think he had to be averaging 20 points per game at least. I was
No, he
tearing it
wasn't,
up.
but he was actually in conversation for probably rookie of the year. He wasn't close. Well, it's not far away, but he was in the conversation. He was playing really well his first year, but I don't call it tearing the league.
Empty calories. I mean, for
Comparative
rookie,
to expectations,
for
yeah,
rookie, yes,
comparative
it
to
was, it was, it
expectations
was,
of his
it was,
pick,
yeah.
he was playing exceptionally well comparative to his pick. I'm pretty sure he got picked in his second draft, um, in the second round of the draft. Sorry,
Yeah.
so I don't want to put in that conversation, but my take on what you're saying, Hakeem, I think, regardless of what you say, maybe he's going to win Rookie of the Year. Initially, Chat was my pick uh, coming up because I felt as though he was on the better team. He's going to be more important for the team. But the way how the Rookie of the Year award is set up is it always goes to the player that has the better stats. It just looks at that most of the time. It hardly ever looks at team standings and stuff like that. Maybe it should consider it in some extent, to some extent, because if you're the number one option, if you're the number one option on the team that you just joined and you're averaging good stats and they have a good record, then that is quite impressive for a rookie. But Chet's situation is a little bit different, in my opinion. He came into a team where we'll call him number two on the team to some extent. Number two, maybe some number three in some cases. Um, and it's just an ideal situation for him. And he got onto a team that has young talent, but they are extremely ahead of schedule in where a typical team would expect him to be for the talent that they have on the team. So are the players that they have on the team, especially when you look at their age. Uh, but I think Wemby's going to win it. He just dropped 31, 12, 6 assists
But
and 6 blocks last night on the Pacers. Like when you coming out and you having these types of games, and then in the head-to-head matchup against Chet, Wemby has looked dominant. What more they got to see it? What more they got to see it? And I don't think Wemby is on the course to slow it down, given what he's been doing these past couple of weeks at all. Can't hear you, Hans.
We can't hear you. I don't know
can you
what
hear me now?
happened. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay, so yeah, so the last two rookies of the year was Paolo from Magic and Scotty Barnes from the Raptors, right? Last year, the Magic I think they finished 13th in the East, but they had 34 wins. Right now, right now, stand corrected. The Spurs actually have 13 wins at the moment, right? Number 15. So performance, the team was yes, it was not they have a high season, but they still got wins on the board. And Scotty Barnes, Raptors was actually in fifth when he won Rookie of the Year. So to me, at the end of the day, you have to look at the win, at least the win share and the seeding combined. Right now, you can't tell me that this. I think he's getting it based off of hype. Yes, he's playing well. Don't let me not say he's not playing well. But I think the hype of being number one prospect, being the best prospect since LeBron James, is what is really carrying this competition for him a bit more. Because we don't in the last I'd say last 2 years just alone, you've not seen a rookie on a team that's been this bad actually win it. So you have to have some wins. Like this is like for that alone, I think is the hype that's making sure that okay, we can give it to this rookie year. This good for the
You
league.
know
This good.
LaMelo win LaMelo win LaMelo win Rookie of the Year, and I'm pretty sure his team didn't get 20 wins. I can't remember exactly. Hornets from 2020.
Lamelo
I think
Lamar was
they
drafted in 2021.
2020.
Sorry, he was drafted in 2021, but he
I
won it.
honestly don't think that you could put that kind of weight on a rookie to say you have to win games and you got to be the lead
Look,
player for the most part in order to get the award. You to me,
The Horn
performing
no
is
no wait
enough
wait wait
as a
but to what
rookie.
everyone said to be what everyone said, the Hornets finished 10th and they had 33 wins. Right now, right now, I cannot see the Spurs getting to 20 wins, but in the, let's say 24, but in the
Like
season,
I said,
and they finished 10th.
you can't
So,
put that weight on one rookie
but
to
Lamelo
say
did it.
like
Hornets was poor probably before. Hornets had if the Hornets got the number one draft pick, you know for a
they
fact
got they had
they had to be poor the year in front. They had to be awful. You don't get a number one draft pick.
1920. Yeah, they were terrible actually.
Yeah.
1920, they were
So if you get a
23
number
and
one draft
42.
pick, your team is expected to
They were
be
number they were number 3 in that draft.
in that draft.
Yeah.
So, but they moved up. So they got the third pick, or they actually just drafted up? No, they drafted up.
They got a third pick. Number 2 was James Wiseman, I think. Or number 2 was can't remember. It was either LaMelo was number 2. Yeah, I think LaMelo was number
No,
2
no,
actually,
no.
and then it was
Lamelo was
James
number one.
Wiseman to the
Lamelo was number
Warriors.
one. No, Lamelo had it number one
Was
because
number 1 in that draft, bro. Was number 1 in that draft. So
let's see.
Hornets had the third pick in that year, 2020. But nonetheless, I
Mhm.
understand what you're saying about the record, but I still think that they will overlook that because it's the record of year number 1. And I find that the players are more the award the voters are more interested in what the player themselves is doing versus what the team is
It
doing. Yes,
is an
that
individual
is
award
taken into
heavily.
it's taken into uh, consideration like the MVP, but I don't think as much weight because people don't expect rookies to have as big an impact on team success. So there are going to be different
Because it's
situations
rookie.
that favor different rookies, right?
Yep.
But I still think that as why Wemby will win it because of the focus that the emphasis is not played on the team record with the rookie of the year specifically. It's more about individual shots. Not going to lie to you, dear. I understand your case because I think Chet is deserving of it as well. But Chet was my pick. But I got acknowledge a man here that doing something that we never seen before. When people see things that they never seen before, they love it. They- Especially when it's spectacular. You see, I told y'all last week or week before. Steph Curry was on a 65 win team. He should have been MVP based on history because his team made 65 games and he was the best player on the team. But you know who won it? Russell Westbrook. Because he averages triple double on the season. Like people
Mhm.
love things that they never seen before. And Wemebanyama is the epitome of something that we've never seen before. Like and he's excelling as a basketball player as well. So it's like how could you not get this man the MVP when he might average 25 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 blocks this month or something like that? You know what I'm saying? So,
I
it's
agree,
tough.
and I could see it being I could see that weight being played on the MVP more so than a rookie because you're talking about value to the team when you say
Mhm.
MVP. But when you say rookie of the year, you're looking at all the rookies and comparing how they perform in the season. You're not comparing their value to the team. Otherwise,
That's a good way
you
to
you'll
break it
say,
down.
yeah, you would say most valuable
Or
rookie of the
MVP.
year.
Yeah.
you know
Rookie MVP.
exactly.
Chat,
That's not yeah.
Chat is my pick.
Chat could get the other award.
I
Chat
stand
could
in, I
get the
stand
rookie
in, I
MVP.
stand
But
in solid on that, standing on business, as young people
hey,
say. Chat, it's my
that
player.
business week. But fair though, fair. I agree to disagree. I just think what we're doing is really outstanding. And don't get me
Mhm.
wrong, Chat is also doing his job in the team, playing his role really well. It's just that
Yeah.
Wemby's a better rookie right now because of
Yeah.
his stats,
And in a
individual
different
play.
year, he would have won it. And I think that's they can be the team for most of the awards that we hear this year. In a different year, this body could have won it because, like, for example, right now,
Mhm.
Jokic making a case to be back on top for MVP as well. And in a different year, she might have won it, but Jokic has this. So different year,
uh,
Chat would have won it, but Wemby
And
has this.
oh,
So
well,
exactly,
we
it's
can't
just
talk
what
like
it is.
we can't talk like the case is closed. The case is still
yeah, it's not
ongoing.
close, but I just saying,
We can't talk
I
about
just saying
ongoing
for either case,
investigation.
even if
We
even
can't
if
talk
the
about an
road,
ongoing investigation. That's classified.
even if it even if it
But we
flip,
got the
even if
evidence
it
there
flip,
though.
even if it flip, even if it flipped the other way around, we would still say, "My that man could have won it if it was a different year." So
Yeah,
we
exactly.
see, we see how
Mm,
it
We-
goes, man.
Yep. If it flip, you say chat. No, Wemby should have won it, but chat existed. Like it's the same
Hmm.
conversation, but at the present moment, it's all about stats. We're talking about who's the best rookie in the league. We ain't looking at who them playing for, how them doing, whatever. We're looking at how them playing as individuals. Anyways, speaking of, let me switch gears and go to the dark horse in the West. The West, like we've said, all season long has been the most competitive conference in the NBA. And last week we touched on how close the teams were. Like we compared Boston to the rest of the teams in the East, and then we look at the West and we realize, yeah, the West going head to head right now for this top spot. So I want to find out from you first, Hakeem,
Hmm.
because it'll be interesting to see what you say. Who might be the dark horse of the West? The team that you have to make it to the Western Conference final and potentially come out on top.
Okay. So right now, as it stands, let me start off with this. Phil Jackson said that to be considered an elite team, you have to first get to 40 wins before you get 20 losses, right? 20
20
L's.
losses. Mhm.
And my team is on the verge of accomplishing that. Well, let me not say my team, my dark horse pick, 'cause they're not my team. My dark horse pick, and that would be Los Angeles Clippers. And the reason why I've gone with them as a dark horse, right? Currently, they sit in fourth in the West. Their record is 39-20. So just one more win, and they're technically qualified as the elite team. But hey, one game off is not too bad. They have depth to their squad. They have a great coach in Tai Lu. They have experienced players who've won championships. So and this is the first season I am seeing Kawhi be healthy in a long time. Kawhi is playing games. Kawhi is balling. Paul George is here or there, but when Paul George is on, we know PG smooth. So at the same time, when you look at the West, and realize that they're not too far off the leaders, and they've had their issues like normal for the most part. I should say their issues like normal. They have to be the team to watch for me. They have to be that dark horse because at the end of the day, everyone's talking about the Denver Nuggets. Denver's gonna go. They might go back to back again with the West. You're always looking at teams in first. Thunder. I think the Timberwolves and Thunder, as well as they're playing, I don't know if they have enough playoff pedigree. Well, definitely for a fact, Timberwolves don't have enough playoff pedigree at all. They're a mature this season. You can see they're a different team from last year. But at the same time, playoff experience goes a long way, especially when we get to the second round and the conference finals. But for me, Clippers has it. Obviously, if Lakers is not in that position, if Lakers there, I go to
I knew it
Lakers,
was coming, you know.
but
I knew it was
but
coming.
It
you
had
know
to come out.
I would have gone there. But as it stands right now, Clippers have the better bet for sure. So my dark horse would have to be Clippers. And mark my words, people not talking about giving Clippers enough respect right now, right? But that's okay. They're staying low key, staying in stealth mode, and expecting to do great things once Lakers don't trash them. But yes, that's my pick for dark horse. Funny enough, you mentioned dark horse. Shout out to those fans from Barbados who know about the Gold Cup. Stanley Gold Cup was
Go,
this
go.
Saturday, and it was a pretty good race, very good race. That's
I
a
missed it.
prestigious event. That's a prestigious event in Barbados in horse racing. So yeah,
Who won?
can't tell you the, I can tell you the, I can tell you the pick of the horse.
It's sporty,
number
bro.
five, number five won.
I swear.
Uh,
Yo,
come on, man, you went there.
right,
I didn't mention it. My
right.
boy hands went there. That's funny. uh,
I swear this guy knew who won. That's crazy, Hakeem. When I say I know the number, but I ain't know the
uh,
hearts. Uh Rayvon, you're dark horse pick.
I go with the Mavericks off the rip. I don't know if Hans you picked the Mavericks too. Uh,
Nah.
but but I just think that if it's any of the top teams in the West, I don't want to see Luca and Kyrie healthy in the playoffs because
Mhm.
even though they might not have the defensive pedigree, great offense beats good defense every day. And right now, I think the the pattern for success in these past few playoffs, if you look at it, some great offensive teams had won. The Nuggets for last year is a good example. They were pretty middling for most of the year last year in defense, but their offense was excellent all the way throughout the playoffs. They did pick up the defensive intensity through the playoffs. I must say they were one of the best teams in defense. Obviously, to win the championship, you have to stop some people. But their offense, I remember just saying, I'm watching those games, and it was just like, oh my god, they can hit every single shot. Like, nobody can stop this guy. You can honestly, Lakers last night, in the fourth quarter, when they lose that game, like the Nuggets know when to turn it on. So right now, I feel like the only way to really beat the Nuggets
Mavericks, you
is,
mean?
well, no. I talking about it. The
Oh,
only way to beat the Nuggets, is with offense. And right now, I think the Mavericks have the highest offensive potential with Luka and Curry on the team. So I think they may be able to overcome some of the, I guess, strong defenses. They got better. They got more size over the trade deadline. Hoping that Luka comes back healthy because he's out with a little injury now. But maybe that'll give him
mhm.
some downtime to rest. To gearing up to the playoffs. And so they lost a couple, but I just hope they don't lose their way in the standings so that they could still be in the playoffs on the whole, because this race is getting
Yep.
even
Tight.
tighter with the Warriors coming out
Yeah,
and the Lakers coming up. Um, but I just think that they're quite scary because they're Luka is tough to stop. Then you got Kyrie, and then the ancillary pieces could fill in and do what they need to do for the most part. So I would put them as a dark horse. They might be able to beat some teams that high up.
But when you talk about offensive power,
Mhm.
you wouldn't say that if healthy, of course, if healthy, you wouldn't say that Suns have more offensive power. Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and KD.
Yeah, I just don't trust Bradley Beal's consistent
hell,
in his inconsistent health. Like, he's consistently been in and out and in and out. They have the makings of a team that should be scary or should be a playoff contender, but they haven't got it together, and they've struggled, especially when they don't have all three of the guys to really make up for the lack of talent that the team has, because they got three guys on some big contracts. And I mean, they had Grayson Allen playing some of the best basketball of his career, really keeping them afloat. Eric Garden chipping in here and there, but I think they need all three guys to be healthy, and I can't bank on Bradley Beal being that way. And then KD is kind of injury prone as well too. So I mean, you could say the same thing for Kyrie. Luka is injured now, when you look at it from the Mavericks side, but I am a little bit more confident in their health heading into the playoffs than I am with Bradley Beal specifically, and maybe to some extent Kevin Durant, because he's been one of the most available players for the Suns, to be honest. So when he gets to the playoffs now, there's a potential for burnout too for him, for having to carry the load when the other guys are out. So
Mm,
uh is a tricky situation, but yeah, Suns is a good team you could consider that could potentially be the most um, offensively powerful team in the West.
okay, that's fair.
interesting.
Yeah, I was just saying if definitely if they were healthy, I felt like they had the biggest threat in terms of power. It's just they can't find our rotation. They're not as bad as the Brooklyn Nets a year or two before, but they're looking pretty shaky in terms of keeping their players healthy and being able to
Mhm.
play together. If healthy,
Right.
I think right now they have to have the best offensive output, I would imagine.
Well, this where I say Luca and Kyrie, because Luca has the ability to dissect the game in a way that none of their three best players can.
Yeah, they're more like yeah.
Devin Booker is not that type of player. Like, he's gonna
He's more like
like the
a
floor
catch and
general
shoot
of
off the
the
dribble. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. He's more like
yeah, he
shooting
could play
guard
mid.
specifically. He's a shooting guard.
Yeah,
Shooting
they
guard.
got like three shooting guards as star players.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't see them being able to like break down the defense and really take over the control of the game with playmaking like Luca can. And when you got a sidekick on the side like Kyrie that can also break it down to some extent, but is an elite shot maker, I just feel like that recipe is more.
It could get more players
I don't know.
involved. You would say it feels like it could get
Yeah,
more
More
players
yeah,
potent.
involved,
It's
yeah. It's more
potency.
important for offensive
and,
success in the
and they're
playoffs
not. I
specifically, I
don't
would
feel like
say.
they depend on rhythm as much. Like they're not like rhythm shooters. I feel like
Nah.
Devin Booker and those guys need a little more rhythm, a bit more.
Yeah. So they can have a tough night. I mean, Kyrie can anybody can have a tough night, but I feel like it could be quite lady for them. Well, maybe with the exception of Devin Booker. KD more so, he's been having some tough nights more recently. He's a very efficient player, but he can have a tough night and shoot 8 for 20, and they can lose again because of that. I don't, not to say that Luca can't have a tough night, but I just don't see Luca's impact stopping stop him from having a good game if he doesn't have efficient shooting net.
All right,
Yeah.
kind of feel.
My pick
So,
is Clippers, and for similar
Going.
for similar reasons as Hakeem, but more so because I remember right one was saying they struggle a lot against bigger teams, and I saw some fight in them. I think it was yesterday against
yeah, played the Wolves.
Timberwolves.
Yes, yeah.
It was a
Um,
really close game, and I saw some good fight in them to come back from um I think it was 13 points down or something like that at one
truthfully, I
point.
didn't really watch the game.
Yeah,
Generally,
like they Kawhi showed up, Norman Powell showed up
yeah, he
in
was
that
cooking,
game. Like he couldn't miss.
but
He
he was
could
playing
not
Timberwolves.
miss.
So, according to Timberwolves Fort Lauderdale once, you have a decent six man. He's going to get
Mhm.
buckets against the Wolves. That's like pretty much a standard for playing against Wolves. Sad to say, he's going to cut the Wolves.
Well, I guess maybe it could be an outlier then for Clippers, but I did see some fight. I saw them come together. I saw them put their heads together and work together in that game. And I think that that is something that has been growing since they figured it out, since the James Harden trade. Like it's been slow and it's been steady. And I've seen them really step up. So I think they have the potential to really take it to the end. They just got some people to some good hurdles to get over, but I think they can do it. So Clippers will be my dark horse team.
All right, hands shit to you.
Um, um, I would say I wouldn't consider Clippers a dark horse primarily because ever since they went on that, like they had the best record in the NBA over a 30 game span. So a lot of people flip the switch after they see how bad it was when James Harden first came. Flip the switch and it
Mhm.
was like, oh boy, Clippers coming, the Clippers coming. If there's one thing the odds makers love to do is put Clippers at the top of the the odds when they're playing well. So I don't think they're the hurts at all, in my opinion.
I feel
So
people
once
want to
they
take the
continue
money.
to, I don't know about that, but I mean, I understand it because they got all the experience necessary. They got four Hall of Fame players, pretty much. Um, they got the experience for the most part. Like they shouldn't have a reason that they can't make it outside the house. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't
Wait,
say that they
so you
are
so
dark
you
horse.
question you would call Paul George a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, probably, more than lately. Paul George will probably make the Hall of Fame more than lately.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel
Okay.
like once you
Go for
reach
it.
near double digit, once you reach near double digit, All Star games, he never been to the finals, but he's been to conference finals on multiple
I think
occasions, I believe.
the multiple or once
Or
it was
I
once.
might have been once. I think
Can't
I
recall.
ain't
That
sure,
was so long ago. But
but
fair, fair,
yeah,
fair.
yeah.
I wasn't sure if you put him in that
Um,
category. I just wanted to make sure I was counting correctly.
and all NBA team. So like individual accolades is go a long way. Especially when you do it over a certain amount of times, you probably will get to the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay. Fair.
Even though you don't win a championship.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure for sure. Russ MVP, Kawhi for sure, champion multiple times, and then James Harden for sure. So I wasn't sure if Paul George was in
Mhm.
that, a sure
Yeah,
stamp Hall of Famer, but that's fair.
yeah, he would be the one on the edge if
Yeah.
anyone. So you're right in
Yeah.
thinking that.
He'll be
Make all
asking the
wait,
guards on the
make all
outside for a
make all
ticket.
wait, make all wait an extra 15 years to get him.
So look, I know his this person's legacy has been in question for a long time. But they've just reached 40,000 points. I mean, it was in a game that they lose or that they lost, but 40,000 points, that's a lot of points. You don't walk around and ask people how much points they had and 40,000 come out your mouth very often. Well, at all, I should
Not at
say.
all.
Um, correct. So, what we talking about LeBron, Hakeem's favorite player of all time, Hakeem's NBA daddy. This this is LeBron.
I don't feel like that come off. I don't, I don't feel like it that one, Hans.
That's fair. I digress. I digress. But but what does this 40,000 point milestone does for LeBron's legacy? Let's start with you.
First thing I want to correct there. You said this man's legacy is at risk. I think his legacy has been intact for quite some time. Most you can say is he's adding to the GOAT debate. Does this improve his case to be considered the greatest of all time? And I think it doesn't hurt his case at the end of the day. But I think this him being the first player ever to reach 40,000 points in NBA history is obviously quite an accomplishment, something that we may never see again. If we do, maybe another 30, 40 years, to be honest, we see how long it took anyone to even reach Kareem's record, let alone add on another 2,000 points plus. And I think it just shows to the longevity that LeBron has been playing at. Playing average in year 21, still averaging 20 points per game, still able to get you 30 points, uh, not on a nightly basis, but when needed upon, still being an impactful player on the team and not just being a bench player per se. So I just think it shows to the level of care and dedication to the game he's contributed to the game. And at the end of his career, let's say another 2 3 years, I could honestly see LeBron anywhere between 42 and 43,000 points. So the job is not done yet. He's going to get it. He's going to definitely be getting there. And I think this is minor, but imagine at his age, the man is still dunking like he was in year 15. I mean, like the man still got hops. So any day, I think this only adds to LeBron's legacy. I definitely makes a better case for him being considered the GOAT at any day. And I just wish that he did it on a night that the team was able to win. Because at the end of the day, I know LeBron cares about winning. And it's a shame to see that another historic night for the Lakers, or specifically no LeBron, they can't get the win. So that's the only downfall there, but it only improves the man's legacy. King James. You know what I'm saying?
Fair. Or have we got any rebuttals to that? Maybe in
um,
the conversation
eloquently
between.
said. I, 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 I can't debate anything when it comes to LeBron. Really and truly, I can see it. It pushes his case further for the GOAT debate. Um, I don't have any squabbles or issues if anyone comes and tell me that LeBron is a GOAT, because these type of things are I can't say legacy defining, because his legacy has already been defined, but this really just pushed the envelope much further. I think he's going to tack on a couple more thousand points onto it, as Hakim said.
For sure.
So we
Probably hit
we are
that
probably not going to
500.
see anyone break this record at all. Uh, I I don't know. I don't know mathematically what would you have to average to even reach this. In even a 10-year career, you might have to. But in a 10-year career, you got to average like
I don't
40
feel that's
points a
possible.
game. Like,
I
come on.
don't feel that's possible in 10 years,
Like,
man. Come on. You got the man 20 years to
but
get
I
there.
just saying, just saying that even if you do 15 years, you gotta be averaging above 30 from your rookie year, maybe, to reach that amount of points,
And they still
So
gotta go. They will still have to go like 21, 22 seasons, because most players start at 19, no 20 years old. LeBron started at 18. So you already had an
mhm,
advantage being able to start
yeah,
so early in his
in terms of
career.
the young, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's highly unlikely we're gonna see anybody reach there. That person will have to be on another level of offensive weapon, like how the lights that we've never seen before. Um,
And definitely free from injury.
yeah, LeBron, kudos to you, brother. Kudos to you.
For sure.
And to add to what Ravon said, any player that's able to average like 30, 40 points per game for a season, for multiple seasons like that, they have to also be injury free. And that's one thing you have to say LeBron has been for the majority of his season injury free.
Mhm.
Only when he got
That's
to age
correct. Yeah.
35, 36, he started picking up some injuries here or there. But I don't know many players I've seen in the league today playing at that level and being relatively injury free for 15 years. I
Hmm.
15, 16 years. I just don't want to play like that.
Yeah,
So
so
the place
there's some luck involved with that.
was that
Yeah,
was definitely
stars
maybe I
align.
would say the closest player that I've seen would have to be Russell Westbrook, excluding that 1 year. I think Patrick he got his knee
Yeah,
injury,
that's a good
but
point. And for one thing about
Russell
Westbrook,
was
he's be available.
durable, durable, durable. So
S-
yeah, most
um,
definitely.
I will have to agree, even though I introduced it in a
You,
slightly comical way.
I thought
Like
you were a Jordan fan, man, Hans. You gave me Jordan
I
vibes.
am, I am. I'm a Jordan fan. I'm a Kobe fan. I'm a LeBron fan. But I always say the conversation of the goal is too subjective for anybody, any fan to say, all right, yeah, this person is a goal. Here's why, and then somebody could give a compelling argument as to why they shouldn't be. Like everybody put their own weight on certain things, and this is why the goat debate will never stop. By the end of the day, to reach 40,000 points, I'm going to echo everything you guys say without saying it. The man is just one of the best to ever do it. I can just say that so that people don't start really go debate. It's one of the best to ever do it. Numbers keep climbing no matter what. Still look young, like you said, Hakeem. Still looking vibrant. Still doing things that he used to do. Um, 2 years into his career, so he's not stopped. Full pedal to the metal for LeBron, and I hope he reaches 4,500, seal it, and call it a day. Call it I would say a successful career in NBA, and it's gonna be hard to beat. It's gonna be very hard to beat. That's a lot of points. And speaking of a lot of points, Celtics put a whacking Warriors. Yo, this was so terrible to
52
watch.
points, brother. 52
From
points.
from the halfway point, I see star players sitting down. I
When
don't
is the
know
game?
why,
When's the last game that you see Steph Curry healthy to play a game and play 17 minutes? When is the
bro.
last
That is
game?
crazy. And
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair that you put, the bench in to try to salvage or try to get little play just because your team may do great. And funny enough, when the bench came on, I think Warriors bench versus Celtics bench was a little bit better than the two first pick teams. I honestly think that they went back and forth for the most part, but Celtics could not miss. That's another thing. Celtics, everything was splashing. Celtics was
Jason
at full
Tatum
power.
was cooking them boys. 20
Celtics was at
points in
full
in
power.
the second quarter,
Like,
bro. Hey,
every
what was cooking?
bro,
The
he could not miss, and these are very good contested shots too. It's not like these guys were open all the time. Yes, there were a lot of plays where Warriors defense was in no man's land, but the eye pokers that Tatum was hitting, that Jalen Brown, I think Jalen Brown started. Jalen Brown set the tone, and everybody was like, "Okay, I want a piece of this." And everybody just started splashing. So it was
I
terrible
honestly
to
right
see, but
the beating that the Boston Celtics put on the Golden State Warriors, right? I'm surprised the NBA didn't get fined for inappropriate behavior, inappropriate decency, because this was not kind at all. This was not nice. This was something that I surprised was really televised. I cannot believe at the halftime being done with 44 points at the half. I have never seen something like that in my life at the half. And the thing
bro,
is, I just can't believe it. And it was so funny about it, right? That they go and say they actually left Brown. They let him hit some open threes, like daring him to shoot the threes to see if he'd be able to make it. And my guy said, "Watch this. I get $300+ million on my contract. Watch this." And the man started splashing the threes. And after that, it was a game. It was just that was it. As you said, he set the tone. So I don't know. I just feel like Golden State they were tired of a 4 game. That was their I think that was their fourth game on the road, and they must have tired legs or they just didn't expect the Boston to come out, that energetic, and
they were energetic. That's one thing. They were
they just
firing.
they couldn't keep up. And then it was sad to see that they sat by halftime. I mean, understandably so, but uh, maybe maybe Steve Kerr just said, "You know what? This is a game we lose. We just take this L." But maybe
Yeah,
he could
let's
have
call
played him
it.
a little. Maybe he could have played him a bit more in the third quarter and see if he go on a
Nah,
run.
I would have said it down. Don't
Sit it
fart
down.
for him. Yeah, get a
Yeah,
rest, bro.
yeah.
But I know we're gonna fight for playoff seeding for the rest of the season, so save a life for them.
That's just that. And
Save a life.
I cannot imagine being a fan that paid my good earned money to go and watch that match, and then you
I
see the
was
second.
just thinking
Everyone
about
was a
that.
Celtics fan.
And then you
Everyone was a
get there.
Celtics fan.
Imagine you get there late because traffic was tight, and you pull up for the second half. In the second half, will be the better half, and see who's that guy there? Who's that guy playing? I don't know him. Who's this other guy on Golden State? He's bench players, and then you realize you realize the whole bench playing. Like they may empty the bench. You said no
You know,
way. I will gotta go on, man.
it,
Even if you're a Celtics fan, you're happy for the win, but you want to see good basketball. At that point in time, like you just drink your drink, your beer, eating some food. You
I think
watching
it's
the
a
game
party.
anymore
That's
after
what
that.
it is.
yeah,
It's a
that's
party in the
exactly
It's a
what it is.
arena.
party.
That's
It's a
true.
party. It's a
But
party. It's a party for sure.
thinking about those ticket prices, staff to sell tickets, and to see him to
Mhm.
play only 17 point. To your point, Hakeem, 17 minutes to see staff play, and you pay the ticket value to see staff play. That's a ripoff. That is a big ripoff. So I could only feel for the people that actually bought tickets to that game.
Same, same, most definitely. But switching gears, open intended, is F2. Is, is our homeboy, Zane Maloney, aka the boy from Barbados. Got two big
Yes,
wins in the
sir.
Grand Prix in Bahrain, the sprint and the feature race. So, Hans, tell me what happened here. Is he the man to watch now for F2?
I think he's been demanded to watch. I just
See the
think that he
BHM flag.
had
Right.
bring
Yeah.
it up, buddy. Bring it
Yeah. Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
That I telling people this national anthem playing for F2 just as much as I expect the Dutch anthem to play for
So
F1.
for F1,
this anthem game, like
they get sick
people
of it.
game, yeah, this anthem can be a jingle in people's heads for sure for this
Mhm.
entire season. I could see it once Carlin Rodin Carlin. Well, I don't think it's Rodin Carlin anymore. I think it's Rodin Racing.
Mhm.
Give Zane a good car, is raps. Zane is so talented, and I was actually very pleased to see that he qualified third. And usually these F2 qualification times has been real close. But last season his qualifying was all over the place.
I was just gonna say that's the thing that we talked about last season. If Zayn get the qualifying thing down pat, is a wrap because we know that this man racy. Get he a
Yep.
decent position, he could get out of number one spot. You could start fifth. Well, once you get any in a decent spot in qualifying, Zayn got a chance to go for it for
That's
sure.
facts. I mean first race last season he started what 17th and came third.
Yeah,
Like
crazy Drake,
he
bro.
was super racy, super racy. So I think I think it was good to see him come from eighth and just come through the pot and then put the
Mhm.
pep on him, man. So the first race, like he used up his tires well to make the passes, and then he managed from there, which was a very calculated race. Kind of remind me of Max, to be
Mhm.
honest, because Max would drive hard the first few laps just to make sure that he could get clear air, and then
Mhm.
start to gap you and manage the tires as the race going. So kudos to Zane, man. And then he started third in the feature race where the big points matter. And
Yep.
after I watched his sprint, I was so excited for the feature race because I'm like, all right, he's starting from third. There's no way. And then I realized the first two people, so the guy that was on pole and the other guy that had locked out the front row, were on hard tires. And Zane had the sauce. So I was like, oh boy, it's a wrap. And from the
Funny
get
jump, you
go,
know, funny get go beat. You know, I
yeah,
was like, oh, nope, left
before
on
the
the beat.
first corner, my
Exactly.
man was
The
in
man had
first.
them beat.
That's funny.
So yeah,
I was actually watching some highlights, and there was a part I saw. I think I'm still new to the terminology. He was going left to right a lot, and the commentator said something like we don't normally. He was impressed and said we don't normally see this a lot in F1. Like some skill that Zane pulled off in during the race had him like
Mhm.
mesmerized. I don't know if you know
Yeah,
what's that, but I was impressed. So would you say with all this momentum that he can actually go on to be the F2 champion, or it's not looking likely for this year, for this season?
I think F2 is so. F2 cars are very similar. This is not like F1
Hmm.
where the teams build their own cars. There's
Yeah.
one manufacturer and they make the cars. The only thing is for the engineers of the team to get the right settings for the track. Once rolling on point every single week, Zane is going to perform. Zane
Okay.
always, even in my opinion, even with mediocre car setup, he's racy. He's always racy,
Hmm.
always going for overtakes. Like last season, this man pulled some overtakes from the outside, inside, anywhere on the track you could think about. This man diving on people, outbreak them. This man outpace them on the outside of a corner. Like he's racy, he's very crafty, and I think Zane. Want Zane stay focused? Zane got this.
So is that bushy part skill that giving him the edge?
I don't know, but it must
maybe
see.
maybe some skills from rallying as well in
Yeah.
Barbados might have
Yeah.
sharpened his skills and what's not. Yes,
Hmm.
is a different what you would call that discipline in racing, but
Hmm.
it sharpens your skill for the better. So
Okay.
hey,
Okay.
looking forward to big things from Zane for sure.
All right.
Any
So then,
any thoughts, Royvon, on
Just spectacular. Just what we hope for. The biggest thing that I was going to just mention is the fact that Zian did qualify and got a decent spot, and that we said from last year was a recipe for him to have some success in F2. He got a year under his belt. He learned from that experience. No, second year in, time to shine, my boy. I the sky's the limit, as you see. Roden
Mhm.
Carlin just need to make sure that they got the setup right so that he could go. But even with that, I feel like he had a mediocre time last season. He
Yep,
didn't have a great setup every time, but he still tried to perform as best as he could. And we see what he did with what he had. So
yep.
this,
He also made a
I
lot of
wouldn't say minor
mistakes too.
improvement. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. So
Yeah,
he's had a year on his belt. He's learned from it. I think this is his time for
to
sure,
shine.
for sure.
I think
That,
Zane gunning for that Mercedes seat.
That's
uh,
that was that's where my head at. No, it's like no. FZN continues his performance in F2. What the radars in F1 could be saying? Who could be
That's
looking?
true.
We know he on the
And
state right now. Um,
yep. Go
with
ahead,
the
sorry.
what's sober,
Yeah,
sober
Soba.
on the sober academy. Um, but I don't know how it goes in this hands. How often do like drivers that are not on uh the academy of a team that might be interested in them? How often do they get poached to some extent from a different team?
Not too often because usually
Mhm.
the top teams drivers usually perform well.
Uh,
So it's tough for somebody else to, I guess, come from under their academy into somebody else's camp. Take Felipe Drogovic for example. He's won F2, but he still hasn't have a drive, and he's under Aston Martin at this point. So it's not often that it happens, but I think Zane will have to show a lot. Not just being at the front and staying at the front. I think he also has to continue to prove how racy he is.
mhm.
Um, even
So
being
even if he
under
have a bad
pressure.
qualifying, for example, if he get like another
Exactly.
11th in qualifying, you
Yep,
know, and then
for
come up
sure. He has
and
to
find your
show
way back to second
all
or first,
aspects
yeah,
of the game.
yeah.
But yeah,
Mhm.
definitely he could definitely take Joe Guan Yu's spot. Well, this
Mhm.
is probably after I think it's Theo Porsche that's under stake as well.
Mhm.
Sauber.
Yeah, he
And
Porsche won last year, won F2 last year, right? Yeah.
yeah, so hey, like you say though, sky is the limit.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go. Let me go put
Let's
Beijing's
aim.
on the map some more, man.
I
I'm
get to
looking
hear
forward
that.
to it.
So then, so what you say? What does this do for his start? Then does he really and truly have a good chance? You would say, I know you guys talked about it or mentioned it with Mercedes, but realistically speaking,
Mhm.
does he have a good chance getting into F1 by next season or even the season after that? Really and truly.
Zane?
Yeah, Zian. Yeah, Zian.
Yeah, I think so. Like he's understate right now. If he can prove himself, there are a lot of people on the chopping block. So don't forget he was
Yeah.
already uh rival junior driver, um a rival test driver, I believe as well. So there's Daniel Ricciardo and Sergio Perez on the chopping block in F1 right now. More about that when we talk about it, but um, so there's definitely opportunity there if he wins. Um, understate he probably has an opportunity as well because Stick is going to transform into Audi in 2026. The only thing that might hinder him is if Carlos Sainz get a good contract and he goes over there, that will lessen his chances of getting an F1 seat under Audi or Sauber.
Okay.
But I think, to be honest, I think if he continues to perform like this and he's dominant, then he could get an F1 seat. I
Yeah,
wouldn't put it past
especially
him at all.
especially in this coming year because as we talked about in the last stream, got a lot
Yeah,
of seats that are opening
it's
up
like
right now.
yeah, it's like
Um,
plus 10 drivers that contract
yeah.
ending this year.
So did he really got to take advantage of this season and really put himself on the map on the F2 scene to really get some you know attention
Yeah,
to solidify your F1 spot, man.
but
Truly,
hey, the competition is tight because, like I said, he got
it
to get
is.
past. Like you got Felipe Dragovic, who under Aston Martin right now, he was a champion. You got Theo Pocher, who probably got a spot. Um, you got Liam Lawson, who probably got a spot above Zane at Red Bull. So like he really has to put it on this season, be super dominant, and hopefully someone takes him up.
Mhm.
All right. And in talks of Red Bull, right now Red Bull's been dominating Bahrain so far. I might see that Max Verstappen finished the race 22 seconds. To me, that sounds like a beating. That sounds like a hammering. So Hans, run me through this. Is the Dutch flag gonna be really gonna be playing the entire of the F1 season?
The Dutch anthem definitely will be playing the entire season. The
Yep.
entire
I
yo,
repeated last year, which is sad. I watched it. As I said, I watched it for the first time and in full, and it just like deja vu. Another
Mm.
another last year about to happen again, and it is depressing for the sport. I truthfully, I would probably rather
It's
watch
depressing for the
F2
sport.
before F1 to me because
bro.
it's like I would like to see somebody at least challenging my even his own partner Sergio Perez
Mhm.
can't even match the man. Is seeing
That's the
cars.
thing. That's the thing. Is is the Red Bull car far better than everybody else, or is Max just better than everybody else?
But
I think
I
it's
mean,
Max at
I
this
can answer
point.
that question right now. But I'm
I think
still
it's gonna be
intrigued.
Max.
Mm.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was
It
saying
has to be Max.
to
Go
what
ahead, go
Ray
ahead,
said
Hakim.
before.
Sorry.
To what Ray said before. So when Mercedes was winning all these years, was it still good or was it not boring or quote unquote
It
depressing?
was not
Or
like this. The
Exactly. The
parity
competition
between
was
the two
there.
drivers was
Mhm.
not like this. Bottas won some races and Lewis won some races, and some of the races that Lewis won, Bottas gave him the position so he could solidify the championship, right?
Okay,
So Bottas was a very good team player for Lewis's success, and I
okay,
don't think people would put that past the history books for sure. But again, Bottas was racy with Lewis. They were locking up front rows, left, right, and center. And it's only late in that era that Red Bull start to really pour on. And then at the very end of that era, Red Bull snag one from Mercedes. But
okay.
in this case, you got Max versus Perez. because that is really the first competition for each driver. The first
Hmm.
competition is your teammate.
Is your teammate okay?
Beat your teammate. That's the first rule of thumb, I guess. That's your first competition, and then beat everybody else. So to see that Perez is 20 something seconds behind, finding it difficult to pass the Ferraris and what's not. Yes, there's always intricacies, but it's night and day from last season into this season that Perez is just not on the same level as Max.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
But
All right.
about the race though, I, I don't know, man. So what I can say is that Matt said it even after the race. They pretty much had a perfect day.
Yep.
They had no issues. All the other teams that came after Red Bull had some type of issue. Mercedes had issues. Ferrari had
Yeah.
issues. And stuff like that. So maybe that's why the margin of victory might have looked so wide, but still, come on.
Makes me
And
question where Perez would end up.
that's a good point. That's a very good point right there. Because I think he finished it like, well, how much ahead?
Three
Third place.
seconds.
Yeah, 3 or anywhere between 3 and 4 seconds, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
But please, next race, please this weekend, let it be something that happened that make it a little bit more competitive.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ferrari is will be the more competitive of the rest of the teams as it relates to Red Bull.
Just
Um,
as I predicted.
just
It's
as you
just that,
predicted.
yeah, it's just that Charles had an issue with
Yeah,
the car. Like
with
he
the
was
brakes.
locking
Yeah,
up almost every
yeah.
every lap.
Everything. I was like, what the hell? I was like, that's tough, B. That's tough.
Yeah,
But you said it. You said it at a time when we talk about Charles and he ain't got no luck. There's always something.
yeah.
Look at how the season started already. Um, so Red Bull is the only team that looks to be competitive. Mercedes seems like they got a long way to go. And if it was more Mercedes, I'd be sick to my stomach because they take our concept and kind of perfect it, which
Uh,
is embarrassing.
yeah.
And no, I don't know. Mercedes can struggle. Lewis can probably have a tough year. I ain't gonna lie. But George did do a good job with the car. He
Hmm.
get the most out of it, to be honest. He started third on the grid, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
He drove well.
uh, yeah, he really did. Putting Lewis to shame to some extent. Um, so I don't know how this season can go, but
You know how the season can
if this
go.
result, yeah, if this result is
You know
anything,
exactly
it
how the
just praying
season
that I
can
don't.
go.
I just don't want it to be like this, man. They
Right.
need more parity in the F1. They need to take a page out of the NBA book and I don't know, change a
Change
rule
the
or
script. Change the script.
yeah, change something.
Get new
Come
script
on,
writers.
man. Yeah,
Smart's on a different level. Smart's on a different level. I so like I said, I think Ferrari is going to be the number, well, the team to beat, because like you said, or like I mentioned, I don't know if Perez is going to be able to keep this up. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens through the season. But hey, I'm looking forward to who's going to win that number two spot. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's for sure. But Keon Brereton asked about the early Mercedes seat selection. And I'm guessing that he's asking who I might have for this early Mercedes seat selection. No, that's a good question. Last week I was saying it's a shame that Mick Schumacher, even though he had a strong exit from Haas, wasn't even considered in any of the coverage at all for this seat, means that he's not going to be a candidate. So he's not going to be there. With the Red Bull seat available, I don't think Carlos Sainz is going to be an easy Mercedes pick, because their Mercedes is also looking at Kimi Antonelli to fill that spot if he performs well. He's with a good team at F2. He's a
yeah.
promising rookie. He's fast. He's racy. But he got beat Zane. and I don't see it happening this
Exactly.
season. Gotta beat Zane.
Exactly.
So m- my most, I guess, probable seat selection for Mercedes, to tell you the truth, might be Alex Albon. Might be.
Whoa.
Might be.
Did not
I
see that
mean,
coming.
Alex might be, loyal to Williams, especially if Williams start to make headway. So that's a factor. If Williams start to be competitive again, they finished seventh last season. If they could get up a little bit further in the midfield and start challenging for fifth and sixth position in the race, I could see it happening. But if not, I think Alex might be more inclined to go to Mercedes, or Mercedes might look for his services if he continues to perform. But outside of that, I really can't tell you who might be in Mercedes seat. Some people say Alonso. I doubt it. Um, some people might say Sainz, but with Daniel Ricciardo not beating Yuki Tsunoda, and there being um some feisty moments going on in the race at the end there, I don't know if Daniel Ricciardo is going to fill that Rebel seat. And Carlos Sainz might be a good candidate because he was previously a Rebel Junior driver, like I mentioned last week. So, hey, I will definitively say Alex Albon, my most probable pick.
That's an interesting thing, Hans. I,
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about Alex at all. You ever mentioned he last week, so
Hands with the insights.
it
Bro, like
F1
it
inside the hands.
it is going to be some serious musical chairs this
Mhm.
season just because of that one seat. Because that one
Yep.
seat is a coveted seat.
Yeah.
And we don't we don't know where Mercedes head is at right now. They're ducking the Kimi Antonelli question, and they're not giving you any leeway as to where their head is, like who they're looking at or whatever. So Carlos Sainz getting got to perform, and Alex got to do the same thing, and we'll see who get the seats. We'll see where the shift happens.
All right.
All right.
I, I guess that is it. But I guess early predictions for next week race. How you think it's going to go? I thinking
Max
Red Bull on top
Verstappen for
again.
the win.
Yeah, yeah.
Max
Thinking Red
Verstappen
Bull
for
on
the
top
win.
again. I'm
I
hoping
don't
that
think
Ferrari could do
Sergio
something
will
and
come
get a
second.
second. Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
think
think
so.
Sergio will come
Hoping
second.
that Ferrari could get the second place in this next race.
Yeah, I
Um,
think Sergio will come fourth, behind one Ferrari and maybe one Mercedes or McLaren.
yeah,
But we'll see. McLaren not so much because I still think that they got some progress to make. But
yeah,
I think Perez is fourth
yeah.
in Jeddah. But then again, he does have a superior car on his straight. Like so, we'll see. He could make it happen, but
Yeah,
this is going to be interesting.
exactly. Uh, on to other predictions. Marquee matchups for the week, NBA edition. Uh, Celtics at Cavs tomorrow,
That's a joke.
8:30. That's not a joke
That's a
because the Cavs been playing pretty good
Yeah.
for the
Yeah,
most
man.
part.
Celtics all day.
Um,
You can't sway my prediction. No way. Celtics all day, buddy.
going Celtics as well. I mean, it's hard. It's hard not to pick them after they put a slapping on the a smacking on
He,
the Warriors
he,
like that.
you would hope so. Celtics might do a 180 and decide that them a hold the beating this time around.
It's true.
But
It's true. Like,
we see that in the
that's
NBA a
that's
lot.
how it's happening. Exactly. That's exactly how
Yep.
it's happening.
Yeah, the script
They
writers
go there and beat
be
a team
be
by
in their
by,
bag.
and
Yeah.
then
Akeem,
but that
whenever you
that
done talk
but
all that talk, choose
I
Cavs,
try and
please.
I just Celtics. I can't go get Celtics. I just go put a little cayenne pepper in the sauce, but it is Celtics all the way. I think Celtics are gonna. They're right now. They've been too dominant. They have been too dominant, and
yeah,
I think they're in a tier of their own. So,
Mhm.
and as an Eastern team too, they want to make sure they let the East know what's going on. We're the top dogs in the East. Everybody else,
Yeah.
y'all can't eat unless they say so. So right now, Celtics for the win.
yeah. Next matchup, Bucks at Warriors. I going Warriors right off the rip. The Bucks have been looking good these past couple of weeks, though. I ain't gonna lie, but
I'm
it
going with
I
ain't
go
Warriors.
with Bucks.
Bucks. I'm going to Bucks. I just think Warriors right now.
I go with
This,
Bucks. I
they
think
got they got
Warriors in a pickle.
yeah. Them in a serious bind right now. The
My
Warriors are no
main
longer
my,
fighting.
my main issue with the Bucks is perimeter defense is trash. Can't have trash perimeter defense with Steph Curry on the court. So yeah,
Got Pat Bev,
Steph Curry
bruv.
can have a night.
Pop Bev can't really
Well,
hold Steph for the whole night. Man, he
Yeah,
might get a couple of plays here and there, but
bro,
not the
if
entire
I were
the
to play
entire night.
like 10 minutes, 5 of them minutes,
wasn't-
Steph probably gonna be on the court. So
you got Pat Bev, bruv.
Unless they play Pat specifically for
Pat
Steph
is a
all
menace.
his minutes.
Pat is a menace.
maybe, but stop. But Pat Bevan playing 39 minutes like Steph. So how long?
Hey, it all
He may,
depends on how the game goes, doesn't it?
yeah. If it ended up close in the end, then probably would sub out somebody and put Pat Bevan for the final minutes to guard Steph,
Mhm.
maybe. But I would take my chances on offense if it was the Bucks versus on defense and keep up with them because the Bucks offense can be has the potential to be very explosive. With Giannis, Dame,
Mhm.
you got BZ on the wings, like the 3 point shooting. You got Brook Lopez 3 point shooting. Like
Lopez been killing it this season.
yeah. So Warriors for me.
All right.
Good pick, good pick.
Uh,
Timberwolves at
Lakers.
Lakers.
Timberwolves at where?
This is a direct head to
Lakers.
head with Ravon and Hakeem. We should probably do a watch party for this.
We should. Wolves.
All day, every day.
Yeah,
Hakeem, we know where you're going with.
hey, you know where I'm at.
You, we know where you're going with.
Yeah.
So we don't want to do a watch party for this for true.
Watch party. What day is it? Sunday?
Yeah.
Go let the man know. Go let the man know. It'll be fighting crime at night.
What?
What time you at, though? What time that game, man?
Wanna
That
see
probably
me
is a
fight?
late game because they got Lakers too. Fair
I,
enough, but I mean, you got to work the next day,
I see you,
fam. So
Bo Hakeem. I see you. I see you. I see you scene.
they know he's trying to be Batman in the streets, but it's alright. It's alright.
10 o'clock game. Yeah.
10 o'clock.
No, I thought you said it was 10 o'clock. Sorry. Lakers
Oh,
versus
actually, it might be 9 o'clock
Timberwolves.
game because it's Sunday,
Timberwolves
so them games usually be earlier, so it might be 9.
is a 9:30. But if
Yeah,
any NBA
Night
starts a little
Eastern.
late, so it's 9:30, but it's probably gonna start by 10. By 10.
yeah.
A little, a
And then
little, or
when you
quarter,
can
or
start the
quarter to
games
10.
on time, just don't
I
get
don't know
it.
why. I don't know
It
why.
might so shabby,
I actually thought
Just
that's the
gotta
way they
wait
used to do
10,
it.
15 minutes.
I thought the call time was like to know like start the pre show. I didn't realize that it was supposed to actually start for 9:30, but they
Yeah,
always late, man. Always.
yeah, boy. Like something
We'll see
else.
how it goes. We'll keep the fans posted on Easter to see if we will go through it or not.
Mhm. All right, I think that's a wrap, base.
I
Any
think
other
so
things
too.
that you want to mention?
Like the
Tune in
stream.
to F1. And most importantly, for all the Beijing supporters out there racing, motor racing, tune in to F2. F2 to me is more exciting than F1 when it comes to competition and racing. F2 is the racier class just because the cars a lot alike. Ain't too much wiggle room for differences. And the car is mostly always close.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's right.
tune into F2.
And the end has much laps for the most part. So
That's true too. It's not
yeah,
a drawn out decision. Like
yeah,
F1 at this point, F1 is like first, I guess first 10 laps. You're like, all right, yeah, we can
yeah,
see where this
yeah.
might
We
go.
see where you're going. Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the stream today. We do appreciate your presence. Also appreciate your involvement in hitting that like button. Also subscribing if you are new. If you like what you hear, people, drop a comment below, man. Let the Hasbro Bros know what's what's going on, how they're doing, what the discussions like. We definitely appreciate your feedback. And yeah, for all things Hastro Bros, hit us up on Instagram at Hastro Bros. And we'll try to get that audio only version for you on Spotify tomorrow as well. So thanks for tuning in. It's been Hostile Bros. Hostile Bros. We'll see you later. See you next week, peoples.
Yeah, we
Peace.
gone.
Yo.
Peace.